how my competitive hockey career was therapeutic for me in an autism lens. In a lot of sports, pretty much all sports actually, there's structure and routine. That includes practices, games, team workouts, team bonding, video training, and everything in between. And a lot of that happens in season. It does happen in the off season as well, but in season is really where all the nitty gritty takes place. In the in season, there's obviously a lot more happening than there is in the off season. But anyway, with following the same daily routine every single day, pretty much doing the same thing every day, that is very therapeutic for somebody like me with autism. For those of you who don't know, strong preferences for routine and structure, and even cycles of them, are commonly seen in people with autism. And there's a lot of science that goes behind the why with this, with one of those reasons being sensory processing difficulties. Something that is commonly seen in autism is sensory processing disorder. Sensory processing disorder, or SPD for short, much shorter, is a condition in which multisensory input is not adequately or properly processed in order to provide an adaptive response to one's environment. So in terms of routine and structure, when something in the routine and structure is thrown off, for the person with the sensory sensitivities and difficulties, that can throw them off as well. And I speak on that from personal experience. I've gotten a lot better with it through therapy and resources, but years ago, if something was thrown off in my daily routine or in my life in general, I would get very upset about it and it would hinder my functioning. So with sports, most notably ice hockey in my case, following a identical routine and structure every day, that felt pretty good. I didn't have to anticipate something changing. I didn't have to worry about, okay, how am I going to respond to this because of my sensory processing disorder? No, that rarely ever happened because it was the same schedule every day. There have been complaints about doing the same thing every single day. And yes, I do understand that. But for me, it was so good and therapeutic for my autism and my SPD. And this doesn't just go for hockey. I'm talking about hockey because in my case, it's in my life, was and is in my life. But this can go for any sport. Like I said before, sports bring about structure and routine. In terms of scheduling, hockey rarely ever collided with my sensory processing difficulties. So for those of you out there who are like me, have autism and sensory processing disorder, joining a sport, whether that's competitively or even club or recreationally, something with some structure and routine can be very therapeutic for you. I'm not speaking for everybody though, because one person with autism is one person with autism, and one person with SPD is one person with SPD. But I can speak from a generalized standpoint. But for those of you who strongly prefer structure and routine, I definitely recommend a sport. There are so many, literally countless benefits to playing sports as they positively impact all of our dimensions of health and wellness. The list is way too long to talk about in this video. Not to mention also that sports are a life coach. Thank you for tuning into this video and stay tuned for my next one.